Hello there. This is Dmitri Lennikov, and you're in the chat room at Tyrant Studios.
Welcome back to the chat room at Tyrant Studios.
Coming to you high above the legendary penthouse in downtown Vancouver.
I'm Joe Leary, along with BC Entertainment Hall of Famer Danny Filipponi and penthouse operator Aaron Chapman, a noted historian and author. And what are you working on now?
We just finished a new book on Doug and the Slugs, me and Simon Kendall from the Slugs, and we have a book launch party here at the Penthouse on June 3rd, just after this weekend. So come on down. Well, free to come down.
And Simon Kendall will be on our next show,
yes,
which is the June show from West Coast Dream Machine.
That's right.
In West Vancouver.
Yeah.
Dmitri Lennikov is our guest. We brought Dimitri on just to talk about what's going on, what's buzzing, what's trending, what's happening. What is it? You're with the UBC. Again, tell us the position.
I am. So I am the film collections coordinator. So I do a lot of preservation and archiving, but also curating films for educational and research purposes.
Our angle is to have this curated and this whole show, and keep it 100 years down the road. It'll be somewhere out there.
Oh, it will be, yeah.
So we got, you and Chappie certainly connected on a nerdy movie.
I'm a UBC film grad, and Dimitri tells me he found my student films.
Yeah, I found two of your
and just pulled them out of the archive there. So sitting there after 30 years.
Did you have a look at them?
Oh, of course. I was talking to Aaron earlier about how one of his films, because of incorporation of Philip Glass and the Kronos Quartet, it gave me a lot of Godfrey Reggio vibes, who did the Quatsi trilogy documentaries.
You're speaking a whole different language.
I am speaking a different language.
I know exactly what he's talking about. I appreciate it.
And Aaron did a surprising amount of gratuitous nudity, too, for whatever reason. I can't really
All my voiceover parts where I did nude. I don't know what the hell was it. Yeah, anyway.
I love it.
So I can't begin to jump into a conversation that you guys have, but one film that I was very fascinated with, one of my all-time favorite films, is Sunset Boulevard. I think we talked last
time. Yeah, terrific.
And Eric von Stroheim, who plays this faded movie director who was Norma Desmond's director years earlier. And I remember doing some Google dives into this guy. This guy was a crazy piece of work. And apparently back in his day, he was known for like 14-hour films, and he wanted so much authenticity. There was a time when a director of photography said, "Eric, the forest is in the shot." His answer was, "Move the forest."
Yeah.
Now, can't you just reposition the camera? Right. But do you get into like Fritz Lang and really deep and ethereal, crazy movie people?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, what you're kind of talking about, I've heard plenty of stories with directors like Cecil B. DeMille and Stanley Kubrick, particularly, who was known for...
1,000 takes?
1,000 takes. Yeah. He wanted the table in Doctor Strangelove to be a certain green felt akin to a card table, and I think it was DP saying, but the movie's in black and white. Yeah. Who's going to notice it?
He did.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll probably affect how the actors play it, so that's why it's in the shot.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Amazing.
Yeah. But speaking of actually long takes, one of the big things I managed to catch was Kill Bill in its entirety, because it was just showing at the Park Theater.
Yeah, the new park is.
Yeah, so they
recently opened.
Yeah, they recently reopened. They actually now have a 70mm projector, so they were showing it, and I think they're showing it again at the end of June 30th, in 70mm. So
do we lack theaters right now in Vancouver?
I mean, I think it's just more of, because of streaming, we've got less and less people feeling the need to go to the theaters, and the release dates and windows don't help, because, for instance, I went and saw, admittedly a bit late, Project Hail Mary, and then I would say that was a great theater experience, but then the very next day, now on digital, so that was maybe 3 weeks or so. So things are releasing a little bit quicker, and I think that does create a bit of a feeling like, I'll just wait till it comes out.
Sure.
But you do get a certain aesthetic and vibe and feel by seeing it as intended on a big screen.
And with an audience of people, rather than just in your living room. It changes the dynamic of how you're taking it.
And I just heard Steven Spielberg saying that. And I'm really curious to see Disclosure Day, because I've been fascinated by these reports for years and years and years of UAPs and stuff, and I totally buy into that. I think there's something there. I don't think we're being realistic if we think in this vast galaxy we're the only civilization or only sign of any sort of living thing. But apparently Steven Spielberg has incorporated a lot of actual footage that's been leaked, and I'm really curious to see that.
Yeah. Well, do other things too, like even coming into that theater experience and from like a younger Gen Z, Gen Alpha generation too, is this month in particular.
Gen Alpha now. Oh my God, that's the first time I heard the phrase used, Dimitri. Now that we've cycled into the alphabet, the beginning of the alphabet again.
We've cycled into Greek. So.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
But two films in particular that have been getting a lot of buzz, one of which was actually filmed in Vancouver, is Obsession and Backrooms, which at the time of recording is coming out today. So these are both films by YouTubers who have developed a little bit of kind of a following with some of their short form sketch comedy, or in the case of Backrooms, like literal shorts of that same universe. And they got picked up by studios. With Obsession, it was Blumhouse and...
You ever heard of a cult somewhat movie filmed in Vancouver called Whale Music?
Yeah, sure.
Do you know where that was filmed?
Can't remember exactly where it was filmed.
Right here. Yeah.
They did a bunch of scenes here at the Penthouse.
Yeah.
How many movies have they shot here now?
Oh, Chappie, I think we're the last count. The Penthouse has been in seen over 80 major motion pictures. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah.
But when Whale Music was that was Chokin.
Maury Chaykin.
Maury Chaykin. Yeah.
That
About
was 1996 or something like that.
Yeah, that was. You remember that one?
Yeah.
That was sort of a weird film, but it's still on. It's still there.
Are you gonna leak some of these Chappie student film things that we can see online?
He's gonna apparently Dimitri's gonna send me some MP4 files of them, so I might put them online. I still have them on VHS.
I would love to see
and the Town Pants could do the original soundtrack.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Some white chocolate.
The kid that stars in one of the films, he must be in university now, or must be well graduated. So it'd be funny to watch these things again. I haven't watched them in a few years myself, but when I was obsessed with the idea of becoming David Lynch in my film school years in the 1990s, the films are evident of my influences.
Oh, yeah. As I was saying, one of your films is very Lynchian.
That's good.
I'm
glad you enjoyed it.
Great. Yeah. No, it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just we are seeing kind of a younger generation moving and making things for big screens, and in the case of both Obsession and Backrooms, have been doing really well. I think I even read an article that because of the connection with younger audiences, there are teenagers going to see these films in the theaters because they've connected with the YouTube shorts. And I mean, it's not a new trend. You've had Chris Stuckman, Markiplier, like big YouTubers all putting their money where their mouth is and getting their followers to come out. So it's a trend.
Yeah.
And
interesting.
See more.
Yeah, very interesting.
Well, we will continue this conversation down the road. Pleasure again, Dmitri Lennikov. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Nice
Glad
to
to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you. That is a wrap for the chat room from Tyrant Studios.
Coming to you high above the legendary penthouse in downtown Vancouver.
Special shout out to Adam Katz, who made a
Adam Katz, who is in the house. Adam Katz. We're gonna talk to Adam in a future show.
Yeah, he has some wonderful clothing line and merchandise.
He's a merch master.
He's a king.
He's a merch master. Also, we want to thank all of our great sponsors. We want to thank the West Coast Dream Machines on Clyde Avenue in West Vancouver, where our June show will be recorded from. We invite you to to come down.
Live, and there'll be cars there, and food, and all this sort of stuff.
Bring the black card if you can. You're going to see something you're going to want to have. Also, North Point Brewing in North Vancouver. We have Canadian Club. Thank you for them. We have Resurrection Spirits, and our brand new wine sponsor, which is Otter Trail in Langley. And thanks, as always, to our food sponsor, Neighbors Restaurant and Pasta House, 35th and Victoria Drive. Mitzi does a wonderful job. One of the most hospitable people you'll ever meet. Our thanks to our tremendous servers, Jackie and Cian, who keep the trains running on time with the drinks. Thanks to Zara, our makeup. Thanks to Mike.
Dan.
And
Dan from Tyrant Studios.
Dan from Tyrant Studios.
Eddie Gregory.
Jacob and Eddie Gregory, our operator engineer. And thanks to you, Joe and Joanne, listener. Without you, there is no us. We'll talk to you next month. Thank you.
Check out the Instagram page.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.